So I've been excited to turn 30 for today. I am 30 years old on February 19th. Thank you. So I've been excited to turn 30 for a while now. My oldest sister when she turned 30, she talked about how like lit it was and like amazing it was. So I was so excited to turn 30. And now that I'm here, I wanted to do just a few things that I've learned in my 20s, review a little bit of my 20s, and go over some lessons that I've learned because I feel like if you don't have to go through it, don't, okay? I used to be super stubborn in my 20s, like my early 20s and mid 20s, and I would just be like, you know what? I learned my lessons the hard way and blah, 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 blah. Then I learned a big lesson the hardest way. And I was just like, you know what? I'm ready for ease. Okay. I'm ready to learn things easily. I'm ready to learn things through other people telling me. Some things are meant to go through experience, but I feel like if you can avoid it, why not? First thing, and I've talked about this in quite a bit of my videos, regulate your nervous system. I learned how to regulate my nervous system when I was about 27 years old, and I had never learned it before, never heard of it before, and it really helped me get through a lot of the emotional roadblocks that I was going through in just daily life because there are so many challenges that come up, that pop up in life, and you sometimes don't have an outlet. Sometimes you don't know what's going on with in your body. Thoughts may arise and you go in a spiral. Regulating your nervous system like is so beneficial towards aiming to get in a space, in a headspace of where that you desire to be in. I always tell people to regulate your nervous system. Regulating my nervous system changed my life, okay? It completely changed the way that I looked at life, my perception, the way I handled situations, the way I felt about myself. Like it just gave me a new perspective. And it's not a whole lot you need to do. It's just a consistent effort of regulating your nervous system, whether that be breath work, EFT tapping, ice plunges, cold plunges, meditation, different practices. There are so many out there, but regulate your nervous system. It is so important. And I feel like doing that in your 20s can definitely push you through life ahead. Like through experience, through your perception, through the way you handle things, you can avoid a lot of messy situations by regulating your nervous system. Okay? But that was something I'm so glad that I learned in my 20s. I wish I learned it when I was a teenager or a child, but the sooner, the better. Another thing that I struggled with in just growing up was really making choices for myself, being decisive, making choices, and knowing that my life is my responsibility. I grew up very emotional, so and when I say that, I don't mean like, oh, I was sensitive. I don't mean that I was sensitive. I was sensitive and I still am sensitive, but I grew up very emotional. Like I would dwell, I would get angry, I would get sad, I would spiral, I would have just spouts of like severe sadness and just a whole bunch of energy in the wrong direction. And I used to blame everybody else for my own choices, or maybe not everybody else, but I used to think like, oh, because I went through this, or because I went through this in my childhood, because my parents were this way, because I had this experience, that's why I'm this way. Or I used to dwell in something just because somebody said one thing to me. And it used to only affect me. I was only poisoning myself. So something that I learned in my 20s, thankfully, was that my life is my responsibility. And I mean that in every sense. How I feel, how I think, how I act, how I show up, what I say, how I feel about myself. It is my responsibility. No matter what happens around me, no matter what people may have to say, it is truly my responsibility. So I had to learn that, like, my life is my responsibility. And we all know that, but sometimes we don't apply it in our life. We still blame other people for what they did to us and how they treated us. And don't get me wrong, people do things. How are you using that in your life in a way that is helpful or beneficial to you? Because somebody could say they don't like you and you could just be like, okay, well, that's fine. There's billions of other people in this world who can like me. You know what I'm saying? So your life is your responsibility and yours alone. Nobody is responsible for how you conduct and move through your life. As a child, I grew up people pleasing, and a lot of us people please, and a lot of us don't know that people pleasing is a trauma response. We hear fight and flight, freeze, sometimes we hear about, but fawn is people pleasing. You react to situations in your life because you feel like that's the only way you can survive or that's best for your survival. And I learned that through childhood. So that took a lot out of me to reprogram myself and learn how to say no and learn how to prioritize myself. So, one thing that I will say is so beneficial, especially in your 20s, because the 20s is a time of figuring things out, figuring yourself out for real. And you don't want to spend that time figuring yourself out by prioritizing everybody else and putting yourself last or caring about how everybody else feels and you put yourself on the back burner. Because the way that life works, the way that the energy of life works, is that when you do that, people also put you last. When you prioritize yourself first and prioritize your needs and what you got going on first, and not in a way of being only about yourself, right? But in a way that being selfish is important. Not being self centered, but being selfish is important because you are always going to have you. No matter where life takes you, no matter the circumstances or situations, you are always going to have you. So you might as well take really good care of yourself while you have the life that you have, caring about other people ahead of yourself and overlooking what you need to make sure that they're good. You know, of course, if you're a parent, then that's a whole different situation. Somebody's depending on you. But if it's just you, or even if you are a parent and you are prioritizing your children, also prioritize yourself with your children. Don't people please. Stop people pleasing. If you're doing it, stop it. Okay? I know that's easier said than done, but guess what? Regulating your nervous system helps with that as well. You know, because you really get to tune into how you feel and what's happening within your body. And you pay attention to when I'm in this situation, I'm uncomfortable. So I say this just so things could be okay, just so things could be good between me and this person. And it's just like, people will be okay. It's okay for you to say no. It's okay for you to walk away from situations. It's okay for you to say, this is how I feel. And if that person doesn't like it, it's okay. It is okay. You are still alive. You are still breathing. It is okay. In terms of dating, I struggled with this so much. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with dating, especially in the 20s, you know, because some of us are looking for a future, especially as women, because the biological clock is ticking for us and we're looking to find a partner. We're looking to, and not all of us, some people don't want to have children, some people don't want to get married, and that's cool too, you know. But when you are dating, I will say, make sure you prioritize yourself and make sure you take it easy and get to know somebody first. Don't just like meet somebody for a week, 2 weeks, everything is going good, conversations as well, texting, calls, hanging out, seeing each other, other things, okay? Don't just get wrapped up in that. Get to really know somebody first before you just decide that they're the one or they're the person that you desire to share and spend your time with, not just your life with, but even your time right now with. Always make sure you have something going on for yourself. If you always put somebody first, okay, they're going to get annoyed with you because you don't have anything for yourself. Nobody. It's just the way we work as human beings. It's just the way life works. Nobody wants somebody who's in their face 24/7. So make sure you have your own thing and make sure that you're not in a rush to or forcing something to happen just because you don't want to be alone or you think that this person is going to make you happy or make you feel worthy or make you feel good enough. It's never going to happen. It may happen temporarily, but at some point, you're going to hit a wall and find that you need to decide for yourself that you're worthy, that you are enough, that regardless of what you're asking for, it is possible, you know, through dating. So take your time, slow down, because the best things happen when you slow down, when you relax, honestly. Growing up, I faced a lot of like financial struggles just with how I grew up, and it wasn't easy. So I was super big into like hustling, like hustle, 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 like have this job, have this job. It was one point when I think I was about 24, 25. I had three jobs. I don't recommend it. Okay. It was way too much. Way too much. It took a lot of my time. And it was just like I was in a hamster wheel because even though I was making money, it was still going here, it was going there, it was going there. And it wasn't building wealth. I wasn't building wealth. So I would say that remember that money is important because it is important for your lifestyle and your choices and your access and your comfortability, which is important and it's necessary for your survival. However, it's not more important than your well being. Money is important, but money always comes and goes, okay? Make sure you prioritize yourself. So work smarter, not harder, okay? Because three jobs was me working harder. I was not working smarter because where did that money go? One of the most important things that I learned in my 20s was how to be joyful and at ease, no matter what's happening around me, no matter the circumstances. I have been in situations where it was tough. Like, I dealt with bed bugs, I dealt with, not working for a while, months on end, not having a consistent flow of income, not being in a relationship, like feeling alone, feeling lonely, feeling like I wasn't in the space that I wanted to be in what I wanted to do with my life. I've always wanted to be a mom, and I thought that I would always be a mom like earlier on in my life, and that was something that I struggled with. But once I learned how to regulate my nervous system and just gained a different perception and perspective and was easier on myself, I learned to be joyful and at ease and happy and at peace within myself without needing anything to change around me necessarily. It wasn't that the circumstances changed, then I felt better. No, I felt better, and eventually circumstances changed. You're not necessarily in charge of things changing outside of you, like how quickly. So if they're going to be that way for a little minute, you might as well like soak some joy out of that. You might as well pull whatever joy you can and look at your life and look at the things that you can be thankful for and be grateful for. I have a home, I have a roof over my head. I'm well. I know how to create a place of peace and I know what to do to get me feeling better when I'm not. I have water, I have food, I have clothes, I have family, I have friends, I have my hair, I have my healthy skin, I have good hygiene, I have body wash to wash my body with, I have water to brush my teeth, to cook with, to use the bathroom, to take a shower with. Like, I have all these things. You can scan your life for the abundance around you. You have so much around you and so much within you to be thankful for. And I know circumstances aren't always favorable and always easy. Try to take the blessing out of things and look at what is there that is beneficial to me, that is helping me, that is good for me and helpful for me. There's something to always be thankful for. We're alive, breathing, here another day. Not everybody got to see the next 5 minutes, the next 10 minutes, the next day, the next year. So there's always something to be thankful for no matter what's happening around you. And learning that in your 20s, oh, will catapult you to like even more blessings quicker, faster. Your life will change a lot quicker than you expect, and you won't even really realize until after the fact. And for my last lesson, life is full of possibilities. What you do, what you can have, how you show up, and just imagine just every day, like the possibilities that you can create for yourself. There's people in the world who win awards and win things that nobody ever has before. I'm sure 20 years ago, people didn't think life would be like this, what it is today, where you can make money online, where you can make money in the comfort of your home, where I see on TikTok, like people make TikTok videos of there's somebody who puts paint in a glass and then spins the glass and the glass breaks down the stairs and has millions of views and is making money from that TikTok. People make money by talking on camera to people and giving them tips and giving them beauty and lifestyle suggestions and advice and different things like that. Never in a million years have we had the comforts that we have today, the physical comforts that we have today. So it is important to see that like life is full of possibilities. Don't give up on yourself yet. Don't lose hope yet. Like there's so many things that you can create, so many ways you can show up as and be and do and have. Continue to move through life with hope. There are so many traumatic things and tragic things happening around the globe, but within your space, within you, this is your space. Like it should go your way. You know what I'm saying? Like it should be beneficial to you, this space right here. And that's something that I learned ties together, that like there are infinite possibilities. And take care of yourself right now. You only get one life. Do it now. Don't wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 years, 10 years. Like, no, do it right now. None of us know when our last breath is going to be. None of us know when is the last time we'll see somebody. So take care of yourself now and know that there is hope. Like, there's infinite possibilities. We see it every single day. You know, even for myself, like, I used to always think I would be stuck being an emotional human where my emotions would run me and control me and alter me. But I never really, I always desired to be in the space that I'm in now, but I never thought in a, like, it would be like this. I always figured, like, okay, you know, eventually, but I never thought I would get here at this time in my life. I'm not 100% as where I like to be in terms of my lifestyle and the things I like to have and the things I like to do, but I am 100% or closer to 100% of being the way that I desire to be, like how I desire to be, and like being in charge of me. Where my emotions don't run me, my thoughts don't run me. Don't get me wrong, like sometimes I get in a zone, I get sad. Sometimes thoughts pop up and I'm just like, why the is this even a thought in my head? It's ridiculous. Closer to 100% my way, where I decide how I feel and how I show up in the choices that I make and how I respond or don't respond. I decide that. And I guess this is like a bonus tip, but be graceful with yourself. Like you're doing the best that you can. As long as you are doing the best that you can, as long as you're not harming yourself, you're not harming nobody else. You know, none of us have a pamphlet or a guidebook to how our lives are supposed to go. So take it easy on yourself. Be easy. And remember to always take care of yourself. That is what this channel is about, taking care of you, prioritizing you. And I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.